is going to commence a ruthless fight. According to the Foreign Affairs Minister, he says this is a fight never seen before. And people are getting disappointed that he's not giving the signals. And at least yesterday he had the opportunity to give that signal, as Awula says, that this is where we draw the red line.
Yeah, Samson, I think that I need to say good morning to you, my good friend, Dr. Kofi Asante, Kojo Asante, and Miracles, I've not seen you for some time.
Wow.
And to say that yesterday was an attempt by a country deeply traumatized by what happened on the 6th of August to bring some form of closure. So the president was quite conscious of what he was trying to achieve. A non-dilution of the tragedy and the effect on the national consciousness of what happened on the 6th.
Will such a signal not have rather boosted and giving the families better closure?
So what our fallen heroes were on their way to Obuasi to do was to promote what we call responsible mining. And simply put, responsible mining is understood to mean how to mine for mineral resources without damaging the environment. Now, so they were not going to fight Galamsey. They were going to instill in the people the attitude and culture of respecting the environment after receiving licenses to mine.
We've come to accept calling them gallant and heroes to signal that they were fighting Galamsey.
No, they are gallant and heroes. One, because that is the utmost sacrifice of any public officer, any citizen of this country who elects to serve the country. That's the ultimate sacrifice. It's like a civilian country in war and a civilian electing to be drafted to defend his country and dies in the process. So he sacrificed their lives for the country. That's why they're heroes.
You just mentioned that the responsible mining project they were going to launch, obviously it doesn't have any compulsion, it's not going to force anybody or anything. And how is that going to, as it were, make the difference that you are looking for in the circumstance for which their death would be a sacrifice?
You see, you need to show to the people of this country that there's a way to mine legally and without compromising the environment.
We have been at this for how many decades now?
First of all,
It's yielded zero. The situation has worsened.
Samson, I was at the ministry, and I tell you that the path and route that we are taking has been taken by other countries before. In some countries, they actually had to put notices on trees in the forest, reminding people of their obligation to protect the forest. So we were there. I mean, and you to do it, you have to build it incrementally and gradually. Now, if the responsible mining activity takes off, and people can see, and Awula and Co can see that community mining or cooperative mining can be done in a way that is environmentally tolerable. People will now begin to appreciate that those who have been given opportunities to obtain licenses to operate and have refused with impunity and are damaging the environment with a recourse to future generations, we will now have a rethink.
You were part of the processes leading to stakeholders, meetings and conferences, including, at the very high level, Otumfuo's 82 being part of this project and, as it were, making disclosures about people who were involved. What did we get? Well, how different is it? It's community mining. That's what you're doing. Simply
No, it's different. So Shandorf has told you it's different. And when we were here, we said it. The community mining was an escalated form of Galamsey. Who were the people? I mean, it is important for Shandorf and Co. to let us know who were behind the community mining. Who received the licenses to engage in community mining? How many of the people in the community were involved in the mining? Mind you and I, and all of us here, have a responsibility to protect the communities from which we come from. When we do so, because we are the environment, when we do so, we are doing it for ourselves. So that's why the idea of community mining came up. That when the people in the community are given an opportunity to mine, they will do that with regard to their very presence in the communities.
When the minister says the president is going to launch the most ruthless fight ever, what's your understanding of that, of Galamsey? What's your understanding of that?
Well, I traveled with the president in the helicopter to Obuasi in his first term as Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. The president is deeply aware of the devastating effects of Galamsey on the lands. We flew very low and we saw the pits. Now, the president at that time was of the view that we should immediately start an activity to reclaim the degraded areas.
An activity to tick the box? We have been doing that, just ticking the boxes.
We didn't even do it. I mean, he was voted out of office. He didn't do it. Now, when you said he's going to launch a vigorous campaign against Galamsey, I'm taking it from the point of view of the fact that he's keenly aware of the destruction. He knows what should be done. He slots officers of state in the fight against illegal mining and also to bring about responsible mining. And so he will now have a keen sense of agency in how to deal with this matter.
A sense of urgency without a state of emergency.
Well, so you recall that I was one on this very platform who said that the president had a moral integrity to deal with. But subsequently, I've engaged him. They said, look, Inusah, we are doing exactly what the state of emergency will do. We're putting in place structures to ensure that people do not engage in mining with impunity. And that no matter who you are, if you engage in illegal mining, you'll be caught and punished for it. And you recall that two members, high-ranking members of the party, have been reported to the Economic and Organized Crime Unit of the Attorney General's office to be investigated. So it sends a clear signal that, yes, things are being done, and they are done with the view to ensuring that we stop this illegal activity.
Since they were reported, what has happened?
Well, so it's investigations. So we're all waiting and following closely and keenly on what IOCO is doing.
So a state of emergency, as the coalition calls it, targeted on the water bodies, on the forest reserves, and so on, the mining areas, is unnecessary.
No, I'm not saying that. I've not said that. And I will not say that. I'm just saying that presently, they are taking steps which seem to be addressing some of these critical issues. And at any point in time that they come to the conclusion that a state of emergency is needed, even if targeted, I'm sure government will so declare it.
Was it out of ignorance or was just politics when the NDC was endorsing the public outcry by the coalition, by organized labor, for the state of emergency, and Akufo-Addo not doing same?
Samson, your network carried extensive educational, if you want, publications and pieces on the devastating effects of Galamsey. I participated even at the, was it the Novotel or some hotel, Labadi Beach Hotel,
Right.
where they brought all the people together, including Frimpong Boateng, to tell us what was happening. We had seen from reports people dying out of the activities of Galamseyers. We had seen the destruction of our forest cover. We had seen the pollution of our water bodies. We had seen the introduction of hard chemicals into the soil. What did you expect civil society organizations to do?
That hasn't changed.
That has been abated. Has been abated. Now people know that nowhere is safe. The Galamseyers know that nowhere is safe. They are being pursued. Now, we know that there was a community in the forest. That community did not start in 2024. It didn't start in 2025. How come that community escaped detection by the law enforcement agencies and was only detected after 2025? So something is being done. Now, so if you juxtapose what Okudzeto Ablakwa, Minister for Foreign Affairs, has said and what is being done, it will send a clear signal. I mean, it will lead you to an understanding that the president is going to approach the fight a notch higher. And so, for me, I think that we need to encourage the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to continue doing what they are doing and keeping their eyes on the ball. Because people are bent on acting with impunity. They have so exploited this country to the extent that they now believe that it's an entitlement, it's a right.
So you'll agree with me that, and that will be my final, I want you just some 30 seconds on it directly, that we have launched programs upon programs over the years, and they have not contributed to reducing the scourge, but we have rather found ourselves in a worsened situation. This responsible mining project that the 8 were attending for the launch, if it ends up to be one of those just ticking the box, how would you feel?
Well, I will not feel encouraged at all. I will not feel enthused. I will feel disappointed. But I don't think that it will come to that. Because we have always said, and that is not now, under Atta Mills, with John Dramani Mahama as vice president, we had always said that we have a responsibility as a government to protect the environment. And to protect the environment means mining must be done in a way that is responsible and sustainable.
Okay.
So, I mean, this idea of responsible mining is not new.
All right.
It was thought through.
So the best tribute in their honor will be to ensure that this is not one of those occasions where
you're ticking the box.
The political leaders are ticking the box.
No.
Dennis,